highlights. Everybody loves. I love contouring and highlighting. Like you can see, I get my face all chiseled in, and my fluffy cheeks less fluffy. Yeah. So for that, I'm going to be using Ellie Girl Pro Conceal in toffee for her highlights and in dark cocoa for her contour. So I'm putting a little bit of the product on my hand. Well, it comes with an application brush at the end of it, and a lot of people just like to push out the product to the face. I don't like to do that. I like to put on the back of my hand so that I can control how much of the product is coming out. So I'm just going to draw this beautiful triangle all the way into a laugh line, all the way to the corner of the mouth. I'm going to join it this way, and then I'm going to fill in all of that. Just fill in, fill in. You don't need to get like really close to her lash line because we've already put I'm not going to get close to her waterline because I've already put concealer on her. And anyway, if when we're blending, it's going to get there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So filling in my triangle again. Just bringing out the good stuff. A lot of people talk about how women are a little self-conscious and how they don't like their body, and that's why they do makeup. It's not such a serious thing. It's just fun. What makeup does is just to bring out the beautiful features, and so it's not like surgery or something. It's really just fun and simple. So just and if you don't like it, you don't need to say something awful or make crazy comments. Just move on, scroll past the picture or something. So done with the highlights underneath the eyes. I'm going to do a little bit on her chin so that it doesn't come out looking gray. And then I'm going up with this really thin line on her nose for her nose highlight, just all the way down. And the same up. Let me push out some product here. I'm just going to fan that out. Now this is where I put a little bit of highlight on the brows. Yeah, so from arch to arch, like that. And I'm just going to go out in a complete fan. What this does is that it gives the forehead a three-dimensional feel as opposed to just really looking flat. Because the truth is that when you put one color of foundation on, it comes off flat. You have literally made the face one color. What contour and highlighting does is that it returns that 3D-ness to the face. So to the contour now, I'm going to go from the top of her ear towards the mouth, but I'm going to fade as I go in towards the mouth. Yeah, so like that. Make it slightly thicker, and then fade out. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Towards the mouth and fade out. Now you don't really need to use a really dark color for contour, because what happens with dark colors is that when you put powder on them, they get darker. And so what happens with a lot of people is that you start out with a really dark cream contour, and when you're done and setting it with powder, it comes out looking really grayish and harsh. Okay, so this is to highlight our jawline really light. Contour her jawline. I'm doing that really slightly so that I don't have some brown line there, just a little bit of shadow. I'm doing the forehead. You remember the three-dimensional thingy I talked about? Just the sides of the temple, sorry. And then a little bit along the hairline, just a little bit. So essentially, this is the whole face map done for the contour and highlight. You can do a little bit of side to side so that they can see exactly you have on. Okay, cool. That was a really slow side to side. Okay, my husband is laughing in the background. Oh god. Okay, so I'm just going to begin to blend. Again, I'm not going to wipe and do a crazy buffing motion, on her face. I'm just going to push it. Just push in. So what I'm doing again is trying to fuse this with the layer underneath. Just pushing in. And when you find yourself, doing a little bit of a buffing motion, just catch yourself and stop, and then go back to patting. It took me a while, to figure out just how to continuously pat. And don't always forget the inner C's of the eye. Please close your eye for me, because sometimes it can come across looking a little dark and shaded. So you want to get there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just pat down. This is a beautiful stippling brush. It has kind of an angled head from BH Cosmetics. Just pushing in. And you will know when you have pushed it in enough, because it's going to stop looking wet and look like it is part of the lower layer. Please close your eyes for me. Just going into the inner C's of the eye. So I like to bring all the highlights over the mouth. And I'm not doing crazy strokes all over the place, just small and simple short motion, so that I'm not spreading the color everywhere. What I have done with the simple map that she did, I really slow side to side on, is that I have put everything literally in the zone where they need to be. So making crazy motions is just going to shift them all around, and I don't want that to happen. So we're good. I'm also going to do the same thing. Oh my god, it's something I forgot, literally. So I'm just going to go back and get that done. Not just something, a couple of things. Okay, so with our contour, the side of the nose. So I had that thin line go right down the middle. With my contour, I'm just going to go from the base of the brow and hug up next to that line in a thin line too, and right onto the fold of the nose. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Then I'm going to close up the tip and break it in the middle. I'm breaking in the middle because I don't want her nose to look like it goes on for days. I'm also doing a bit of contour underneath her lip and inside the cupid's bow, so that it just gives that really pouty effect. Okay, so now that I've blended, I blended out the highlight, I'm going in with this pointed stippling brush from BH Cosmetics. I use this brush so much. Like the name is literally almost wiped out. So again, pushing in, pushing in, pushing in, pushing in. But I don't want this edge to go out really looking crazy and all. So I'm just going to not, do as much crazy blending on this side, towards the mouth, as I'm doing at the top. So I'm pushing in so that it fuses with the underlip layer. And you could just roll the rest of the product you have on the brush just over into the highlights, Doing the same for the forehead. So I keep calling it the forehead, the temple. Doing the same on both sides. And ensure to get into the hairline, because you don't want to have a huge, obvious demarcation. And then also, when you do that and get into the hairline, have some wipes, so that you can just wipe away, not so much, not crazily, on the hairs that, there's a little bit of foundation on. And yeah, this is the only place that I like literally rub because I don't want the crazy jawline, looking dark. So I'm just blending that in. And then I'm coming to the nose with the edge of my brush and just rubbing up and down on the contour, just up and down. I'm not pushing the contour everywhere because when you do that, it makes the nose, it just makes the nose look bigger than smaller. Oh, it's a really huge nose. Yeah, so contour and highlight blended out, and now we're going to just set with powder. So when we're going to set with powder, what I do is that I use three colors. Yes, I said three different powder colors. One is to set her highlight zones, the second for her contour zones, and the third, which is a natural skin color, to set in between, so that I just use that to correct the places where there are a little bit of, imbalances and all that. Yeah. So let's dive right in. Okay, so for her highlight, I'm going to use NC 50 to set the highlight zones. And this step is a pretty important step. You want to ensure that you use a full coverage powder. Look up a bit for me. I'm trying to smoothen out the creases underneath the eye before I set with powder. Oh my god, setting with powder is like the most important step. You just want to ensure that you put enough powder and you want to use a full coverage. I'm using a full coverage powder. Just literally packing it on. It's a night out, she's going down, she's going to sweat, and I don't want half of her face wiped off before she goes home. I want her looking pretty throughout the night. So I'm literally just packing it on. And also keeping that the underneath really bright. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Again, I'm not doing that because when you do that motion, what happens is that you're taking away. But when you do this motion, you're packing on, you're putting it on. So, setting the highlight zones, coming over to the mouth, just the side of the mouth. So that she has a really bright core, going on. And then to the forehead. And you see the beauty of powder, especially when you use it right, is that because it mattifies, it kind of blurs the skin. What happens is when you have really shiny products, what it does is that it sharpens the skin, shows every part of it because it reflects against the light. But when you put on powder, it blurs the skin and just makes it look, like really beautiful, really smoothened. That's why I use a lot of powder, just to ensure that. And also, of course, powder sets, the products and keeps them in place. Good. Just going lightly on the chin area because I don't want her chin to be crazy white. So highlights done. Now I'm going to go with contour. And to contour her, I'm using NW58. With a contour, I'm going really light because this is dark. I don't really want, to have that crazy blue line or brown. Here, my application is just so much thinner. Yes, now I'm brushing on because I don't want really crazy darkness all around the perimeter of her face. Just keeping it light and simple. And then I'm going to go over the whole face with NW50, just to places that are too light. I'm just putting with a huge brush. I'm just putting over to kind of blend. I just put in between her really dark zone and really light zone so that there's a little bit of blendiness. I don't blend like roll my brush over. I just put a lighter color, a medium color in between the dark and the light to create a blend. And then I'm going to fix this part that we haven't put any powder on. And this is also going to sharpen her contour. I'm going to put a little bit of this also in between the dark and the light on her forehead, so I can keep that so we pretty much set hollow face with powder. Okay, so now that the face is pretty much done, I'm going to just go to fix the neck and make it look just as awesome as the face. So I'm going to start with using Studio Fix powder all over her neck. Remember that Studio Fix powder is a full coverage powder. So I'm just patting on in her skin color, just everywhere. This is NW50, just going everywhere. And all I want to do is to bring out that beautiful, collarbone of hers, so that she looks a little modelly, So can you sock it a little bit for me so that I can see exactly where? And now I'm using the dark powder with my contour brush, and I'm just going to go in to the places where it is dark. It's crazy to hold your breath, sorry. Just into the places that are dark, like here, just with my dark powder. Here. I'm going to go right underneath. I'm not looking for a strong application, so hence the reason I'm brushing on. You can relax for a bit. So you see how that looks like really deeper? Okay, there. So, and then can you do that again for me? Okay, so I'm going over the places that are raised. Oh my god, going over the places that are raised with the highlight powder, and I'm just fixing the crazy whitish blur with the rest of my fingers. I'm just coming the same way down and just creating a little bit of the highlight all the way down. And essentially that's it. You can relax. Yeah. So you see how it comes out a little bit more, and she looks a little bit more modelly, and we're good. So I'm going to go over a little bit for with everything I just did so that you can remember. I started with foundation. I mixed Studio Fix NW46 and NW43 to get her perfect tone. Went over her whole face with the foundation, then did the under eye concealer, then went with LA Girl Pro Conceal for her highlight and contour, highlight in toffee, contour in dark cocoa. And then I set her face with powder. I whipped out three powders, the NC50, which I use for highlights, the NW58, which I use for her contour, and NW50, which is her natural skin tone that I use to balance the in between zones, and create a blended look. And I also did the same for her chest area. The highlight powder, I went over her whole neck with her natural color of powder, which is the NW50, then her highlights with the NC50, and contour with the NW